Okay guys, a couple of you had mentioned today during our warm-up that you were having some problems still with just understanding the overall process of photosynthesis. So I wanted to just go back over what you did for your warm-up and make sure that you have this available to you at home just in case you need to review this a couple more times. I'm going to do this as if we were in class, with sort of leaving blanks and giving you a chance to mentally fill them in to make sure that you really understand this, because this is going to be a big portion of your test. Can you identify the parts of a chloroplast, and also can you identify can you outline the process of photosynthesis? So this is a big deal here. Okay, so you need to understand that photosynthesis is, of course, a process utilized by plants, and this takes place in which organelle? This organelle seen here, what is that? A chloroplast. So photosynthesis begins when light energy from the sun travels into the chloroplast and basically bounces around inside this little structure here. What is that called? The thylakoid. So light energy strikes the thylakoid and sort of activates the light what reactions? The light-dependent reactions. So the light energy activates the light-dependent reactions. Water is taken up by the plants through what structures? Through the roots, and enters the chloroplast and enters into the thylakoid, where the light-dependent reactions take place. And then we have the production of a gas. That gas is, of course, oxygen. That's the gas being released through the what structures of the leaf into the atmosphere? The stomata. So oxygen is released by the chloroplast through the stomata of the plant as a result of the light-dependent reactions. You also have the production of these molecules called NADPH and ATP. These are energy-carrying molecules. When they break apart, they release energy. So the thylakoid, the light-dependent reactions in the thylakoid produce these energy-carrying molecules, which are used to activate the light what reactions? The light-independent reactions. And the light-independent reactions are taking place in the stroma, not to be confused with the stomata. So the light-independent reactions are taking place where? This sort of empty space here of the chloroplast? The stroma. Carbon dioxide enters into the plant through the what? Through the stomata, and enters into the stroma. This is all the light-independent reaction taking place, and as a result, you have the production of glucose, food for the plant. That's the whole purpose of photosynthesis, to produce that glucose. So things you need to know: the structures of the chloroplast. One of these little single discs is called a thylakoid. A stack of those discs is called a granum, or plural grana. That sort of cytoplasm of the chloroplast, that fluid in the chloroplast, is called the stroma. Do you remember where you find the chlorophyll? The chlorophyll is going to be found within the thylakoid. That's what the light energy bounces around in. The chlorophyll activates that light-dependent reaction. So I hope that helps you understand this process. I would suggest reviewing this video a couple of times. This is a short video, so you need to make sure you understand the details of this process. And like I explained in class, this is still a very simplified version of what's happening here in photosynthesis. You need to understand what's coming in and what's going out. Generally speaking, you have light energy, water, and carbon dioxide coming in, and then you have oxygen and glucose being released. What's the purpose of photosynthesis? Is it to produce, does the plant photosynthesize so that humans can have oxygen? No, oxygen is a waste product of photosynthesis. The purpose is to produce that sugar, the glucose, for the plant.